Hey guys, it's SRC Reptiles, and today I'm going to be making the last little video showing the eldest of my babies. So previously we had the youngest 5, then we had the middle eldest when it came to the next age group, and there was also 5 of them. So now we're moving on to the 5 eldest ones. I will point out real quick that one of the babies in here, which is Jericho, who is at the end down there, is not one produced here, but she was produced by a lady that lives in the same state that I live in, I believe. Yes, I think so. And her company is Carnation Creations, and I really enjoy getting to look at all the different crested geckos that she has available, and I believe she also breeds gargoyle geckos, so if any of you guys are in the market for that. And I also have some exciting news. So the lady that I got my leopard gecko lemon drop from, her little business is called Victorian Geckos, and she specifically breeds leopard geckos, but she wants to branch out to crested geckos. So I thought that was pretty cool of an idea, and she thought of me when she was wanting to look into buying some. So Serenity and Fudge are actually going to be a couple that she's going to purchase from me, which is very exciting that they are going to be having new homes. So December 5th, when there is a local reptile show going on in my state, I'm going to be taking them to her there, and she's going to be getting them. So that's very exciting. And then, of course, I'm going to be browsing around at the reptile show just for fun, because I am acquainted with a few breeders that are vending there or have vended there. I don't know if all of them are going to be there this year again. But I really get to enjoy seeing what everybody has available, and also it kind of helps you weigh what the market looks like for that year. So it just gives me an idea as a breeder what I can expect to price my geckos at that would sell around here, but some of them are probably going to be with me for a little bit. Due to people in this area normally don't want to pay a whole bunch, unless they are specifically breeders looking for future breeders, like myself. I wouldn't mind going there and paying like $200, $250 minimum for a young tricolor. Now, obviously, with Jericho, I bought her for $150, I believe it was, and she was 6 months old or something like that. So the lady was going to mark him down lower, which we thought it was a boy at the time, but I told her the price was perfectly fine. The only reason I was hesitating is because I had to think about if I had space, which I obviously went ahead and got Jericho anyway. And Jericho turned out to be a female, so that worked out for me, but also Jericho is a tricolor, so that will be nice having her part of the breeding group in the future. So anyway, this is Serenity. He is currently fired down. Also, I discovered that Peep is actually a female. And it's kind of funny because I had it written down, possible female, like ages ago, and I never thought to check up on it. Well, the other day when I was getting all the genders figured out so I could tell the lady that's buying Fudge and Serenity from me, she was wanting to know if I had any females, and Fudge is a female, which I checked a second time just to make sure. Bolt, which is her hatchmate, is very clearly showing pores, so that made me feel a little bit better knowing that when I'm not seeing pores. Also, when you like sex with a jeweler's loop your geckos, you kind of get used to being able to tell what scales look like what gender. So with males, they have overlapping scales like a shingle, like shingles on a roof. That's one way that I've read that it's been described. And females have scales that they're kind of circular. They normally don't overlap. They will sometimes just touch, but normally there is a little bit of space between them. They normally don't overlap. So if that helps anybody, it kind of is tricky, because sometimes even when you can look at the scales and be like, oh, this looks like it's going to be a boy, it could still turn out to be a female. So you really have to wait till they're at least 6 months old to be able to really say for sure, hey, this looks like it's going to be a female. So anyway, back to the geckos. So this is Serenity, which she's thinking of actually naming Serenity Fudge, and then renaming Fudge to, I believe she said, oh, I forgot the name. It was a really cute name, and I really liked the idea. I will look at the message she sent me, and I'll put it on the screen, because I thought it was a really cute name, but I just can't remember it at the time. So yeah, they're going to be getting a little bit of a name swap, but that's okay. So Serenity is a bicolor with portholes, and of course he is a male. He's got a decent crest, as you can see here. Nothing too crazy, but it is nice compared to his sibling Pop-Tart. And what's very sad is I have only got, I believe it was three. No, I have 3 females out of all 11 babies that Mischief and Harmony had. All of the rest are males. Like, I have never had a breeding season so male heavy. And yes, I know I've only bred one other time, but I had at least an even amount of girls to boys, and it blew my mind this year that I just had so many males. So any time that I can move boys is good with me, because it's just so difficult half the time. Because most of the time when people want males, they want them to have good genetics, they want them to carry good genes. Pretty much you want as much out of a male as you can get, in terms of him having genetics that will go well with the female to produce good babies that are very attractive, have good traits to them, like having a nice crest, nice structure, nice coloration. I don't know. I'm tired. I am so sorry, guys. Today is going to be very scattered when it comes to talking. And hopefully I can make it at least a little easy for you guys to understand, because, like I said, I'm tired. I didn't get much sleep, annoyingly. It's just been like that for a while. I am going to be leaving Petco, where I've been working, because it's just too expensive for me to drive back and forth. It's not really the driving, though, that bothers me. It's just how expensive it is for gas right now. So, yeah, not going to be able to stay there. Tomorrow is actually my last day, and then I'm trying to see if I can get a job in town. And I've been looking these last 2 weeks, because I put in my 2 weeks already. And I have been having trouble really being able to find somewhere that will be able to pay about what I'm making. So that's why I'm so grateful that this lady's going to be buying a couple babies from me, because that's really going to help go towards bills. And my boyfriend is super awesome and very sweet, and obviously is going to help me pay bills that I can't completely pay myself. This is the struggles of a person when you're an adult. It's just great. And I feel dumb because, you know, I'm just going to be real with you guys right now. I feel stupid because I left the place I was working, which was Walmart, if some of you guys don't know. And while I absolutely despised and hate that place and I am not going back, I feel stupid for leaving because of the fact that they paid well. But every time I go back in there, I'm like, I don't miss this place. I am never going back. Like, it's bad. It's just a toxic environment. Like, the people that I worked with were fine. It's the customers, and they know they can abuse the rules, and it's just a free-for-all, and you can just steal and get away with it, and you can treat us like crap, and we literally can't do nothing about it. And I'm so glad that I left, but at the same time, that was the only place in town that really paid well. So yeah, that's kind of the sucky part. So anyway, this is Peep, the one that is a female. She is an extreme harlequin, and she has a drippy pattern and a few portholes. So Peep was one that I was wanting to hold back, but I decided to hold back Pumpkin instead, because Pumpkin's crest is a little bit better than Peep's. Sad thing is, though, Pumpkin is a male, so that kind of sucks. I'm really, really hoping that Alucard or Gemstone turn out to be a female. At least Jericho is a female. I am glad about that. And I know this time I'm doing more rambling than talking about the individual gecko, and I'm sorry. But it's probably because I'm so tired my brain is having a hard time focusing on just one thing. So I apologize. Anyway, like I said, Peep is a female. She is an extreme harlequin with pin... well, actually, she ain't got enough to be even considered pin dashing. It ain't happening. She's got a little bit more of a narrow dorsal, which I don't really care for too much. It's not very broad and wide, which is a little bit more desirable when it comes to breeding. But obviously, if she were to go to somebody for a pet... or if someone wanted to breed her, it's not like she doesn't have nice traits. She has a really nice extreme pattern with drippy, so that is one nice thing, of course. And then she, just because of her father, she has tricolor in the lineage, or at least I would hope she has tricolor in there somewhere, because of the fact that that's pretty much all that's on Mischief's side of the family. But I'm not going to keep any of the females, to prove them out and see what all is in there, because they are not really going with what I want, which is tricoloreds. So I don't want to risk. So that's why I'm on the edge whether or not I want to keep Pumpkin. I really want to keep him because he's so pretty, but at the same time, it's like if Alucard and Gemstone turn out to be boys, then I'm going to be preferring to keep them over Pumpkin. So just because they're both extreme tricoloreds, and Pumpkin is an extreme Harlequin that is got a lot of drippy, and he has some portholes, and he's very pretty, but at the same time he does not go with what I need. And so then I'm torn between, do I want to keep him as a pet and, you know, have him just like that, or do I want to breed him? So this here is little Rascal, another male, and I believe he turned a year old in October, so that gives you about an idea of his age. Last time I weighed him, he was at 17.4 grams. He's the only one I really remember. Oh, Peep was 16 grams. Serenity, I think, was 15 something, if I remember right. And then Lark, I think, was in the 14 or 15 gram range as well. They're still getting bull trained. As you can see, I am super proud of little Rascal. He ate all of his food. I don't know if you noticed with the other tanks. I don't remember if I really showed, but I don't know if any of the other males have really been eating out of their dish. Now, I think Jericho figured it out. I don't think Peep has yet, but I am super proud of this boy. I have been trying so hard to dish train them, because obviously they were raised being hand-fed, and that's the most tedious part, is getting them switched over to eating from a dish when you have raised them off of hand feeding. And as you can see, he also has some portholes. That seems to be a running gene in this line, is portholes. So, as you can see here. So yeah, he is an extreme Harlequin. I don't think he really has much drippy. Little Rascal, though, he's going to make somebody a really good pet or breeder. Not so much the fact that he has a great crest or anything, but he is so sociable. He is extremely easily handleable, if I can get these words pronounced correctly. Unlike Peep, and Serenity you saw was doing really good too. He's not super duper crazy, but Lark really grips, or not Lark, Little Rascal really grips onto my skin very tightly. Like, he will not let go. He does not want to be put back in his tank whenever I get him out. He really grips on when I go to try to pick him up, because he does not want to go back in there. And so I've always called him my mama's boy, because he is extremely sweet. So I'm glad that he got that trait from its dad, because Mischief is the same exact way. So he is going to make somebody a very nice little gecko, whoever decides to take him. Whenever he gets home, as you can see, I think he might, yep, there we go, perfect. I was going to say, I think he might willingly go in there, because he loves sleeping in that spot. So that is Little Rascal. And then we will do Lark next, and then I will show you Jericho. So we'll get him scooted over here, and we'll see if Lark has eaten any on his own. So proud of Little Rascal. I really hope the others start doing that. Yeah, as you can see, still no luck. I've been monitoring their weight to make sure that they aren't losing too much. They will lose a little bit, but they've never lost anything more than half of a gram. And some of them are still pretty small looking, but I'm really hoping that by not hand feeding them once a week like I had been, that it really will encourage them to eat out of that dish if they are hungry. So he is fired down right now, but he is my low expression tricolor, which he's actually developing a lot more white, so he might become just a regular tricolor. We'll see. I'm not real positive yet. He has a decent... Are you going to just balance there, or are you going to jump? He's got a decent dorsal pattern when it comes to, he's got the nice cream versus just it being a scattered pattern. He's got a little bit of frosted tips when it comes to his crest, but his crest is very lacking. It's not very good. That's why he is priced so low. I might actually lower him to 100 instead of 125. I just don't really like selling my animals for less than 125 because I get nervous that anybody can afford that, and while I don't mind that being the case, I want them to go to a good home where the person's at least done their research and is somewhat knowledgeable on how to care for them. So it just makes me a little nervous selling them lower, because I want them to go to a good home, but at the same time, I know that they're not worth more than what I have priced there. And obviously we are talking about a living creature, but it is very hard right now to sell geckos, especially ones that have such a lacking crest. So it's very disappointing because he is the only one that has such a poor crest. Everybody else has at least mediocre, but his is just bad. So I would definitely not sell him as a breeder. Obviously, if people want to breed him, that's their own choice, because once they buy him from me, that they can do whatever they want, obviously. But I would definitely not suggest it with such a poor crest structure. But otherwise, as you can see, Lark is very well behaved. He's not super duper jumpy. Here we go. He's very easy to handle, so that's the one thing I'm glad that I waited for them to be a year old before I started releasing them. Because most of the time when they are younger, they are just so much more jumpy and they're harder for people to handle. So it's obviously you do want to get them when they're young though, because you want to be able to bond with them. And obviously I didn't want to keep them too long, and then it'd be hard for them to bond with their new owner and stuff, so that's why I wanted to wait till they were about a year old. Obviously Fudge is only, I think, 4 or 5 months, which I will have to double check and see. I'll put it on the screen. But the only reason that I did agree to sell her to the lady I got Lemon Drop from is that this woman obviously is very knowledgeable with reptiles, and even though she's never kept crested geckos, I can supply her with information if she has questions. Also, all of my geckos come with a folder that has their lineage, their birth date, their family tree, and then it also has a care guide and their weight records. So it's not like I'm just selling them the gecko and saying, here you go. Like, they come with a packet. And a lot of breeders, I don't really know if they do that, because I've never purchased from anyone that has done that before. I will say, though, when I got Magma from Tip of Texas Geckos, which I will always suggest, if I'm remembering her name right, I think her name's Maria. She is super nice. She has really nice reptiles. She actually gives a crap. She cares a lot about her animals. And when I got Magma from her, she was able to supply me with a lot of information when I requested it. And she already had, I think, if I remember correctly, already had written, like, his hatch date and his parents' information on his little deli cup when I got him in the mail. But some breeders are just really bad about giving you information, especially Pangea. If you don't pay, like, over, like, $500 or something ridiculous like that, they don't give you lineage. So when I got Blaze, all I was told was that she was from a tricolor pinstripe group. And apparently that's a lot, because most people, I guess, don't really find out information like that. I guess they're not the type to sometimes respond to stuff like that, unless they've changed. I'm not sure, but I haven't bought from Pangea in quite a while. I don't care for their quality of animals after I've actually started watching. Some of them have nice crest structure and dorsal and pattern, but some others are just so plain and they want a crap load for them, and it's just like, I'd rather support a local breeder than go through Pangea at that point, because then I can actually, you know, pick and choose nice animals that are actually worth the prices being asked. So this here is Jericho, and when she fires up, she's a beautiful dark chocolate. She's got orange and cream patterning, as you can see here. She's very beautiful, very nice, vibrant, bright orange when she fires up. She's got a nice pinstriping. It is obviously broken at the end here, but that's okay. And it looks like she's got like a Dalmatian spot in between her crest. That's actually kind of funny, because Snickers has a Dalmatian spot like in one spot on her back, but you cannot tell unless you're really looking, because it really blends in with her pattern. So this here is Jericho, and like I said, she will be used for future breeding in the tricolor line that I'm going for. If Snickers and Twix have some nice babies, and if any of them are males, I might save them. I might have them as a holdback to breed with Jericho, or if Alucard or Gemstone turns out to be a male, I could have Jericho be a future mate for one of them. As you can see, Jericho ate a little tiny bit of food there in, like, off to the right, but otherwise not really a whole bunch. Oh, she's a little bit more jumpy, but she has come a long way, because when I first got her, she was very easily excitable and ran all over the place. Then again, I am waking them up, and they are a little, like, they do get a little irritated with me sometimes when I wake them up. But anyway, guys, I'll go ahead and end the video here. So, again, this is Jericho from Carnation Creations. And if I'm remembering correctly, she is a local breeder here in Kansas. Victorian Geckos is also a local breeder here in Kansas, so both of those are local. And they both can be found on Facebook, and I'm pretty sure they both have Morph Market accounts. I don't know so much about Carnation Creations. I'm pretty sure she does as well. You would just have to search on there. If you put Crested Geckos is as the species, and then you go to like the seller, and you can choose or type in the name, and it should pop up for either or. So Carnation Creations you'd be able to find under Crested Geckos. Victorian Geckos you would be able to find under Leopard Geckos. So you would have to put those species as the ones before you were able to search the seller. So, anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed getting to see the older babies. And of course, I as well have a website, which it's on my YouTube channel, like on the front page, but it's Talagonia's Geckos. And I, of course, have Facebook, Instagram. I will say real quick, if you guys are even here by this point, because I'm sorry, this video has been long. If you have any questions about care or any concerns about your geckos, you can message me on Instagram. I will help you out and like give you my best advice that I can. I have 2 or 3 other people that I've been chatting with pretty recently that I've been helping answer questions and concerns and stuff. So I just wanted to put that out there, that if any of you guys do have any questions, heck, if you want to just send me pictures of your adorable geckos, if you want to just visit, like, that's perfectly fine. Obviously, I do have a life. I am busy. Obviously, I've got a lot of reptiles to take care of. I have a new pet that I'm not going to show you guys just yet. And it is not a reptile, I'll say real quick, but it is a type of rodent coming soon in the videos. So anyway, guys, like I said, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to support the channel. It always encourages me to make more videos. And also, it's nice to know that you guys actually enjoy watching these videos. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and have a good rest of your day.